All right, good afternoon or good day, everyone, and welcome to this replay session. All right, so yesterday, the other day we had yesterday actually. So yesterday we had started the session. Give me a second, please. I need to make sure that we don't have an interference. All right, so let's move. So yesterday we had done the second module of this course. And at the end of that module, we realized that we didn't have a recording. We realized that we didn't have a recording. And so I promised I was going to do this all over again. So it's not even it's not even funny, but we have to do what we have to do because it's important that the children have something to reference. They have something to go back to by way of notes, if they are lost or something like that. So this is why we have to do this, or this is why we have decided to do this. Okay, so today, the third day, we're going to have module 3. So we're going to have module 3 today, which is the third day. And we will, after that, it depends on when module 3 ends. All right. So if module 3 takes up to an hour, what we have come to realize is because this is children we are dealing with, we don't want to stretch the class, okay, beyond an hour and a few minutes. Maybe because I am an educator and I understand the place of overstretching children to be in a class, no matter what that class is. All right, no matter what that class is, they are children. The brain can only take so much per time. All right, so the brain's ability to move, what is learned from the short-term memory to the long-term memory, okay, is very important that we take note of this. And it's also very important that we take note of the fact that, when children read and they take breaks, when they read in beats, right, they are able to translate and they're able to move, what they've learned from their short-term memory to their long-term memory easily, and diminishing diminishing return, if I like to use that, doesn't happen, right? When you begin to hear too much for too long, at a point you are internalizing less and less, right? Because of the capacity the child has to retain, what they are hearing for a long time. So if the class is too long today, then we would have to move the last module, right? We will have to move what we have left, right, to the next module, and we will finish that up by Friday next week. We'll finish that on Friday. But don't worry, the children are not going to be left doing nothing. This course actually comes with worksheets. So throughout the week, okay, from tomorrow, we're going to send the worksheets, right? It's not one of those courses that you want to just dump in your email and not go back to read. It's not one of those courses. All right. So this is a course that we want the children to internalize and get results out of, right? So except for parents who probably have younger kids and are just taking this, so that they can equip themselves and get ready for, this. But apart from that, if your kids are old enough, for this to practice this, then straight up, we should get them at this point where they're doing the course, we should get them to take in everything, and then translate this into reality, translate it into their everyday life so that they can carry the benefits of this course into their everyday life, basically. All right, kids, so that was for your parents. Okay, so let's get back to work. You and I, how are you doing? All right, for those of you who are here for module 1, okay, what did you, for those who have also caught the replay, what did you do? How did you answer those questions? No one has sent me the reports of those quiz from module 1. I said to look at the questions and then answer them, sincerely, and then send them to me. That's another thing. If you don't answer those questions and send them to me, I will not pay attention to your I will not pay attention to the forms that you are going to, to the worksheets that you are going to work on, because working on the worksheets and all of that will help us help you. Okay, this course is not just about taking it and walking away. We want it to translate to something that you begin to make small financial moves, right? That's what we want to see. But if you're not doing the assignments, then I cannot help you. I cannot be giving you tasks to do. You don't do it, and then you come with, oh, I don't know what that was about. So follow through, do your tasks, send them to me, and then I would respond and we would finish up. Another thing to note is, if we don't, I don't think we're going to finish today. We won't finish today. So we are likely going to finish next Saturday, on Friday. When we finish on Friday, I am going to, at that time, all your worksheets will be in and all of that. So I'm going to go through all of them. And by Sunday, we will round up completely. And that time, we'll probably have a session together. I may have a session with you. I may just reach out to you one-on-one. Okay, or we may just build something. I'll just give you feedback, and then very likely we're going to just meet, so that we can put that plan together. We would have put the plan, you would have put your plan together, and we'll just meet for you to tell me, your launch plan basically, or something. But we would make at least one financial move at the end of this program, or at the end of this course. Okay. Yes. So let's go. So we said that this is module two of becoming a financially smart child and understanding purpose. All right. I started by saying that your thoughts are like magnets that attract anything that you think about. So what that means is, if you think that you want to be rich, all you need to do is think rich. Absolutely. You want to be rich, then think rich. You want to be rich, then think rich. You want to be poor, that is the reason you will be thinking poor. Every time they talk about something, they talk about, something that looks big in your mind, you're like, it's for rich people. You keep talking like that. Oh, that's the Eiffel Tower. It's a beautiful place. It's in Paris. Oh, nice. But who has money to go to Eiffel Tower? So if you keep talking like that, then you are limiting yourself and you're not thinking big and thinking rich. Oh, the Eiffel Tower, awesome. I know I'll go there one day. I will go there someday. I know I will go to the Eiffel Tower. Yes. I will make so much money. I'm able to go to the Eiffel Tower someday. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying that that is the ultimate in life. But whatever it is that, being wealthy can help you, achieve or acquire, then you are able to achieve it because you can think it, you can visualize it, visualize it, you can see a picture of it in your mind, and so you are able to achieve it. So what you think is what you will attract. Okay, it's like a magnet. All right, so in this course, we're going to be learning about the abundance mindset, how your mind can think of big things, how your mind can think nothing is impossible, how your mind can think, I can think it, I can reach it, how your mind can think of what is positive and possible, okay, instead of thinking of what is negative and impossible. All right, so in this program, you're going to be developing the abundance mindset. You're going to be understanding how money works. Okay, so we said you should be able to think rich, but how would you think rich if you don't even know what being rich is like? You don't even know what rich people are like. Who is rich? What is rich? What is, so you're not able to create a picture if you don't know. So that's what we're going to be doing in this course. We want to give you a picture of that so that you can think that way. All right. If you don't know how to even, you don't know how money works, how would you know how to think of how to think of what you are going to have to do in order for you to be the wealthy person that you want to be? Because it is one thing to think, it is another thing to actually do something towards what you think. So, for instance, if you stay in your house, lie down on your bed, and you're drinking a bottle of Fanta, or you're drinking a cup of cocoa, and you keep saying to yourself, oh, I am going to go to the Eiffel Tower. I am going to go to the Eiffel Tower. And you sit down there, you do nothing about it. 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, you just keep saying, I will, I will. It's not going to happen just because you're saying, I will. All right? It is until you stand up and you make an effort towards it. Or it's like sitting down in your room and saying, I need to get meat from the store. I need to get meat from the supermarket. And then you're lying down there. Oh, I need meat. I need meat. I need meat. Get up and go get meat. No, you're unable to get up. You don't want to get up. Okay, you're unable to get up. You don't want to get up. You're just lying down there and you're shouting meat. You're not doing anything. You're not sending anybody to get it. You're not doing anything. You will lie down there the whole day. You will sleep off. You wake up the next morning and you will still not have meat because you won't have meat until you do something about having meat. So, very important that we know this. Okay, it's not one thing to want to be rich, it's the other thing to know how money works and to know what to do in order for you to be rich, wealthy. All right, so this is what we are going to be looking about. Now, you can have all of this beautiful mindset, all of these beautiful thoughts, you can have all of these things. And if there is something at the back of your mind that you believe that holds you back, if there's something that is not positive, something that is negative, you know that thing that keeps telling you you cannot, there you go. You cannot, that thing in your mind that keeps telling you that you are not good enough, or that you can't just achieve it. If you have it there, then you won't be able to achieve it, because it is only when you can think it that you can be it. All right. It is only what you think about that you are able, when you think that you can, that's when you are able to. So we call these things limiting beliefs. We call them negative beliefs. They are the things that hold you back. They are the things that stop you from being everything God has created you to be. They are the things that do not allow you to break free from the things that are holding you back. Okay, I started by saying what you know and believe about money, it will form your money mindset. Okay, this is from my book, Young and Money Smart. Okay, now, do you know that experts have said that by the time a child is 7 years old, the child's money habit is already formed? What it means is by the time the child is 7 years old, if the child thinks he's going to be poor, if the child is already, I mean, if the child's if the child has seen, around him a lot of poverty, and people around are always talking, negative things about money. Okay, they say negative things about money. They say things that do not make the child feel powerful. If the child has probably seen the parent always struggling, and the parent always saying, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that. Now, if this is what the child is seeing, if the child has parents that do not do anything towards trying to make more money, okay, the child is going to start thinking like those people around him. Okay, the person is going to start acting like those people around him. And if the person does not make intentional, deliberate effort, or the person doesn't learn, or the person doesn't get someone somewhere that would teach them and help them stop thinking that way, then the person is going to end up like their parent or even worse. So that's what we're trying to say here. If you do not, what you know and what you believe about money will form your mindset. And that's what we said, that by the time a child is 7, because the child would have watched the parent from when they are 0 all the way to when they are 7. Okay, what habits you see, what patterns you see your parents, repeat over and over again will form how you think of money and how you see money. Okay, so some of us, the reason there are some of us that we have money that you will not touch the money, nobody will touch it, you will hide it, you will eat everybody's own, you will follow everybody, but your own, you will never touch it. Okay, so if you check it, it may just be from something that you have learned from home. Okay, it could just simply be something like using a piggy bank to put all your money and not touching it. We're going to come back to that. We're going to talk about that later when we start talking about savings. So there are certain things that we see around us that could lead us right to the point where we have beliefs that stop us from being wealthy or being able to create wealth. Let's look at some of these beliefs. One of them, number one is that you think that you are not good enough. If you think as a person that you're not good enough, every other person is better than you, every other person does well than you, every other person is. So when that happens, you begin to limit yourself, right? You begin to limit yourself, and then you begin to think that you are not as great or as awesome as other people. What this will do to you is that you will stop believing in yourself. right? You will not think that you are worthy. You will think that you are not worthy. You will not believe in yourself, okay? And then you will think every other person is better than you. You don't want to do that, okay? The next one is that what I do is never good enough. Some of you will do a project. Everybody at home is saying fantastic projects. You get to school, you see another person's project, and you become envious instantly. And you're already looking at your project as less. In fact, some of you will start hiding your own project, or you don't want people to see it. No, whatever it is that you have done, provided you have made an effort, do not ever, ever think that your thing is rubbish simply because other people have done something different. Yes, what they've done is something different. You don't necessarily have to be better. Even if you think that it's better, what you want to do is you want to appreciate them. You want to appreciate them and you want to say well done to them, and you want to learn what it is that they did that made what they have achieved better. That's what it means to be someone who always wants to learn. Don't approach life from a place of jealousy, okay? When you see people who do better, you're jealous of them. No, approach life, okay? Think about life as everyone has something in them that is great. Everyone has something to offer. And there is always someone out there who has done what it is that you are doing today and could have done it, in a good way. So what you're always looking for is who has done the kind of thing that I did. And if the person has done it better, I want to learn what the person did. Is very, very key. The other negative belief is that I am too young to try. Who told you that you're too young to try? So some of us do not want to try anything. We think that we're still in our mommy's bellies. Or we always think that mommy will save us, auntie this will save us, this driver will save you, and all of that. So you don't want to try, you don't want to do anything. Do you know that it is when you try that you become better? Do you know that it is the effort that you make that will help you become better at the things that you know how to do or the things you are learning to do? So don't ever tell yourself that, that you are too young for anything. Try it, and if you fail, it means that you get to try again. Okay, of course, we're not saying you should go and look for one big thing like the adults do. For instance, you are 10 years old and then you tell yourself you want to start working at the central bank, or you want to start working. We're saying realistic things that are within your power. Try them, okay, and you will be amazed. But if you fail, it's okay, it's part of learning. All right. The next one is, so instead of saying that, you want to say to yourself, I have, oh, sorry, this, I should change that. So I will create, so you want to say to yourself, I will create comfort. I can do what I need to do to create comfort for myself. All right, start telling yourself that, and you will see that you're beginning to do more and more. All right, so I said you are not good enough, or you're not rich enough. And then the last one is, some of us think that my parents have so much, I do not need to try. My parents have enough, I do not need to try. My parents have enough, and so I don't have to try. This is what makes you feel entitled. This is why you want your parents to do everything for you. Oh, daddy, I want this pizza. Daddy, I want that shoe. I want this. I want that. I want this. What happens is, when you are like that, when you think that because your parents are successful themselves, that means that you're automatically successful. It's not true. Okay, it is not true. Okay, so it is the skills that you learn, it is what you learn, and your ability to sell yourself as an individual that will make you wealthy. Because if you're going to depend just on the wealth of your parents, what will happen when they are old and they cannot do the things that they do anymore, and you have not learned to be super at it because you are thinking your parents will take care of you? Okay, do you know it doesn't matter how rich your family is? If you do not make up your mind to build skills on your own, you will still become what do I use English that is not too big for you? You will be entitled, meaning you think everything must come to you. People must do things for you. You will actually be a miserable person. You won't be a very happy person, because what it means is when you cannot get what it is that you want from these people, you will become frustrated because you do not have the power to create it or to have it on your own. So it's very important that you learn this. I'm going to tell you a little story about Damien and Dio. So Damien and Dio were very good friends, and each of them wanted to be really successful. They talk about riches and they talk about, being successful. Okay, the kind of cars and all of those kind of things that they want, that they see that wealthy people have. All right, now Dio, right? Dio's parents, Dio's from a home where the parents didn't have a lot of money. All right, but Dio spends a lot of times with his parents. Okay, they're always playing one game or the other. They're always having lots of fun. They're always talking about these things and all of that. And Dio's parents would take time to tell him that he can do anything that he actually places his mind on. Dio would tell his parents how he's going to buy them a big house when he earns money, when he begins to earn money, because he knows that he's going to be a very rich boy. Okay, and his father would tell him, all right, you get that. If you say you can, you will. So the father was always affirming him. They allowed him to think big. And then, of course, the parents started enrolling him, teaching him the habits that he needs to have for him to be able to handle that time when he would start building or creating wealth. The father will also tell him that if he's going to ever be able to create wealth and be wealthy, then he must learn how to solve problems around him. He must learn how to identify the problems around him. So his parents will give him chores to always do so that he will solve problems while he is trying to achieve the chores. During the holiday, the parents will enroll him to go and do internship programs. While he's at the internship program, he will learn to serve other people. He will learn to follow instructions. He will learn to be hardworking. And of course, he will learn skills. Okay, he will learn also how to be empathetic towards people. So the parents send him out to do all of these things because the parents understand that it is through doing these things that he's going to build skills. Okay, so sometimes when Dio is not available, Damien is upset. Oh, it's the holiday, why is he not at home? Oh, I'm not, every day you're never at home and all that. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to be there in the afternoon, but I have to go for internship. So Dio was like that. Dio was very resourceful. Dio was very engaged. Dio was very productive. Dio was always doing something to build his skills. Now, Damien, on the other hand, didn't do any of this because Damien and his parents, in their mind, thought that Dio's parents were having Dio do all of these things because they didn't have so much. So Damien didn't have to walk to go anywhere. There are always cars and drivers to drop him everywhere that he wanted to be and go to. Okay, he didn't do holiday jobs because the parents just gave him an allowance, and the allowance was really big that he could buy anything that he wanted, and all of that. So Damien was not bothering with all of the skills because somewhere his family has a company, and one day he's just going to work in the company, and that is it. They grew up, and then Dio went on to college, and Damien went on to college. Damien became a lawyer. Okay, great thing and all of that. And Damien, of course, Dio went on to study something else. He did something. He did something in marketing, right? No, he did a bit something in business, because he always wanted to be an entrepreneur. He always wanted to solve problems for the community, whatever community he found himself. So he kept on thinking of solutions. He created software solutions for, different companies, and so he kept on growing in relevance because people would take his product, use it, and other people would be like, great, awesome. Where did you get it? And then they'll be like, oh, from this company. And other people will come. And that's how Dio started making multiple, income, was making lots and lots of money. And of course, he learns what to do because he learned when he was young from his parents, and his parents got him a coach. He was able to learn all that he needed to do. And of course, Dio became an extremely, wealthy person. Okay, it's not as if Damien wasn't doing good also. Okay, but Damien just moved into the company, started working as a company lawyer, and all of that. But Dario was fulfilled. Dario was very fulfilled. He enjoyed what he did. He was always, every time Damien needed him, he showed up because he was flexible. He had time, and all of that. So which of these two people do you think is actually living a fulfilled life? Or which of these two people would you actually rate as someone who is really successful? I leave that to you. All right. So the next thing that's, sorry, I was talking about, okay, sorry, I was still talking. Oops, how did I get there? I was still talking about limiting beliefs. All right. So the next, so we are finished. I think we finished talking about all those limiting beliefs. Okay. I'm not good enough, right? I talked about that. Okay, so we started talking about financial habits. Yeah, so we moved on to financial. Okay, we're moving on to financial habits. So there are habits that, you know, um, financially successful people have. There are habits that they have. What are habits? Habits are the things that you do regularly that lead to the results that you have. Habits are the things that you have mastered over the years because you have done them over and over again and they have now become a part of you. Okay, it is your habits that will determine your results. All right, so this is what habits are. And the people who are successful, people who are wealthy, okay, they have certain habits that they show. And if you look at successful people, all right, from Mark Zuckerberg to Dangote to all of these people who have done who have done great things that we can see, that we can talk about in the world. When you study them, you realize that they have something in common. They have some habits that they all have. They have habits that they all have. And so it's important that we know what those habits are. All right. So, number one habit is these people understand that they do not say negative things about themselves, they have a positive attitude. Yes. So Dangote doesn't ever believe that there is anything that he cannot do. So that's why you see he's making cement today. The next day is spaghetti. Another time is matches. The next, so he has so many things that he's producing. In fact, right now, Dangote has built refineries in Nigeria. Okay, and it is said that when Dangote's refinery begins to refine fuel, we'll probably not need as much fuel as we need or we get from other countries. Dangote will be able to supply fuel to a lot of us in Nigeria. That is one person thinking, always thinking. Remember, I said thinking of the problems and looking for solutions. This is how people become wealthy, mightily wealthy. And so when you meet people like Dangote, they don't ever say, I can. They say, I will look at it, or I would look for a solution around it. Okay, or something like that. They don't ever tell themselves they are not able to. They don't ever tell themselves that they are not capable. They will always say, I will try, or I will see, or I will get to it. So you don't say negative things to yourself. You don't say things like I am poor. You don't say things like you don't say negative things. Okay, wealthy people are always positive. They say positive things about themselves. They say positive things about other people. They do the things that they do from a place of I can. They don't do things from I cannot. All right. So they don't have that's I mean, when they cannot buy or afford something, they don't say I do not have, they say I can't afford it yet. Okay, and that's what you can start doing, practicing. Okay, oh no, I can't yet. Okay, meaning I will get there with time. I can't. All right, so that's how people with abundance mindset think. They are positive. That's what happens to people who are financially successful. The next thing about financially successful people is that they set goals. Come on now, boys and girls, do you set goals? Do you know it's as simple as setting goals for each day? Just waking up in the morning and saying, oh, today I'm going to pray in the morning, and then when I come back from school, I'm going to wash my socks, and when I do that, I'm going to play outside for 1 hour, then I'm going to do my homework, then I'm going to, these are plans, okay? A very good example of someone, a very good example of a model. 1 second, please. A model of someone that we can look up to when we talk about, when we talk about planning, is God. I mean, just think about it. See, God in all his mighty, in all of his might, right? So God in all of his might, God in everything that he is. Do you know that God could have created the heavens, the earth, man, and everything in one day? He could have just sat down there and with a blast of his nostril, boom, everything is in place. But guys, God didn't do that. What did God do? God planned it out and he created the earth in what? 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested. Okay, he created the earth, created everything, and on the sixth day, he created man. Now, God did not create man and put man there, and then they started running all around. Oh, where are we going to get food to eat? Oh, God, we're hungry now. What is going to happen to us? No, God didn't do that. So what did God do? God created everything that man would need. He created the heavens. He created he created the firmament. He created the earth. He created the water. He created night and day. He created all the beasts in the sea and all the animals that man can use for food. He created all the fruits in the garden, created everything. And when he was done creating everything, what did he do? And he now said to himself, or said to him and of the Trinity, oh, it is time to bring man. And on the sixth day he put man right there, because everything that man needed, right, was already in place. And on the seventh day, what did your God do? He rested. All right, so that is a perfect example of that we all need, right, for what we should do. So if you are that person, it is the day that you need something and you begin to run up and down. If you are that person that you don't ever plan anything, you are that person that nothing ever happens for you until it is almost late, then you are not living in the image of your God. All right. So yes, if you're going to be successful, I mean, the perfect image, or the perfect, example of a successful being is God, isn't it? So that's it. We said everything is principles. When you get the right principles in place, you will achieve and you will be indeed as successful as these people were talking about, are, or this are as the successful people that we know are. All right, so successful people are planners. They set goals and then they set plans to achieve their goals. All right, and then of course, I said the perfect story is a story of God. All right, the next one is successful people know how to manage themselves. If you can manage yourself, then you can manage your time. The reason you cannot manage your time, you don't ever have time for everything. You are never ready for anything. You don't ever have time to do anything. All right, you will not finish your homework. You will not finish this. It's because you don't know how to manage yourself. If you know how to manage yourself, then you will know how to manage your time. All right. Now, if you learn how to manage your time, then you will learn how to prioritize. To prioritize means to know what is important per time and what is not important. All right. Now, when you're someone who knows how to manage your time, then you know that, oh, I have homework to do. I have tests in 3 days time. I have homework to do today. I have to also play with my friends today. I have to go and ride my bicycle. And of course, I have to help mommy cook dinner. So you're going to come and you'll be like, okay, it is 3 o'clock right now. What is important right now? What's the most important thing? Oh, okay. I think I should get my homework out of the way. And that way you get your homework out of the way, right? The next thing is what? Okay, I'm going to find out from mommy what time we're going to cook dinner. So, mommy, what time are we going to start cooking dinner? And mommy's like, oh, we'll start at 5. Great. So we're starting at 5, and this is me. I'll do my homework from 3 to 4. So it means that from 4 to 5, I can actually go out and play with my friend or ride that bicycle. And you see that you are already prioritizing what comes first, what comes next, and what comes last. Do you get? So you can actually do that. And then you go to the kitchen and you cook with mommy from 4 to 5. And then mommy 5 to 6 rather. And then mommy finishes, or you get the food done, in like 1 hour. It's 6 o'clock and it's still bright. And you're like, okay, mom, I still have about an hour before I start preparing, my evening routines. Is it okay that I go out and ride my bicycle for 30 minutes? And she's like, of course. So then you know that it's time to ride your bicycle. So can you see, if you prioritize, all right, it's because you can manage yourself that you can prioritize like that. If you cannot manage yourself, you will find out. The first thing you will do will be run outside. When you're outside, your mom will not start calling you. They will not come. They will not scold you. You will not be angry. Meanwhile, you've not done your homework. Come on now. All right, guys. So this is it. If you can manage yourself, then you can manage your time. It will also help you be disciplined. I mean, from what I just read to you, what does that sound like? It sounds like someone who is disciplined, someone who knows when to start something and when to stop. So when you are disciplined, you know when to play and when it's time to stop playing and go in and help mommy to cook, or go in and cook a meal for the family. You also know when it is time to do your homework, and so you get to it. Okay, so when you know how to manage yourself, you will know how to be disciplined. You will also know how to be responsible, because all of these things that you have to do are your responsibilities, and your ability to do them without people chasing you or without people asking you, it's you showing that you are responsible. Responsibility is taking care of your responsibility, is taking care of the things that you are supposed to do. All right. Now, when you also manage yourself, what does it mean? It means that you know when to do what you have to do. And when you do that, we say you know how to take initiative. You do not need anyone to say to you, it is time for this. In fact, you are the one that went to mommy to go and ask, when are we going to start cooking? So that is you taking the initiative, meaning you can start something without people telling you to do it. It only happens when you are someone who can manage yourself. Of course, if you can take initiative, then you will know that whatever you start, then you must finish. So when you are someone that can manage yourself, you know how to start and you know how to finish the things that you start. All right. Finish the things that you start. And so when you get into school, you know that I am in school, I have been enrolled into school, and I am here for a reason. And so you will focus and you will start. I'm going to start well and I'm going to finish well. I'm going to come out with top grades and I'm going to stay focused all through. It's someone who can manage themselves who do that. It's the same thing when you get enrolled into mentorship programs and get enrolled into peer accountability groups, then you know that I have joined this thing. And so whatever it is that I am doing here, okay, for instance, you join the mastermind. I know some of you here are in the mastermind. Okay, so it means that you know that I have in this program and it is for me to become a better person. So I have started and I will finish and I will do it and I'm going to put my best. Okay, so that's what it helps you do. It helps you to be resilient. It helps you to be disciplined. Resilience means whatever you start, even though it's tough, you don't give up, you keep trying, you keep pushing. So all of this will happen if you're someone that is someone that can manage themselves. And if you know how to manage then you know how to manage your money. So when you make money, you know what to do. You don't spend all your money on careless things because you know what is priority. Okay, so you see, this is why people who are successful have this habit. It is their ability to manage themselves that helps them manage their money such that they don't squander their money. You see, Damien, if Damien's parents have not taught him this skill of being able to manage himself, Damien will go into that company and Damien will misuse the money in that company if he ever gets to the place where he has access to the money. Okay. But that's what Damien is hoping. He's not hoping that he will be there and people will be paying him salary every month alone. When he decided that he was not going to do anything or learn anything because his family has got money, it's because he actually thinks that one day he will be in a position where he has complete access to the family's wealth. And I promise you, if Damien has not learned self-management, Damien is going to start living a very bad life that will destroy everything that his parents have built. And this is what happens to, rich people whose children are not skilled in many cases. All right. So the next one is, these people, successful people are lifelong learners. Yes. Successful people always want to learn. They open their minds to learning. So they are the ones who are constantly seeking knowledge. All right. So they enroll, when their parents enroll them to mentorship programs, they are excited because they get to learn from their mentors. Okay. Successful people all have mentors. Yes. Every successful person that I have ever heard of has people that he has learned from, people that are his mentor. Recently, when the CEO of Access Bank, right? When the CEO of Access Bank passed on sometime in February this year, I remember during his service, memorial service, the burial, I remember that Dangote was there, and Dangote is the richest man in Africa. Dangote was there, and Dangote referred to Wigwe, that's the person that passed on, as his mentee, meaning someone who is learning under him. So Dangote's mentee, Wigwe was Dangote's mentee. If you listen and you pay attention, you will listen and you will hear someone who is also Dangote's mentor. Every mentor or every successful person has got a mentor. You want to pay attention. Okay, so you having a mentor and submitting to your mentor is you preparing yourself for success. Okay, successful people also associate themselves with people who have equal mindset, people who have similar mindsets, similar value system, people who share in their vision, people who have vision themselves. Okay, so you do not have friends that are constantly talking only of games and sports and anything that is fun, and they don't ever talk about things that are meaningful and productive. And you say you want to be a successful person. They say, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. So successful people surround themselves with people who can equally empower them. All right, people who can sharpen them. You know how scripture says that iron sharpeneth iron. Okay, so successful people also put themselves in positive pair associations like the mastermind circle. So if you're here and you don't have a positive pair mentorship, okay, or peer association group where you can interact with your peers, where you can learn directly from your peers, okay, where you can have some connection with your peers, then you are not putting yourself in that place. You have to have association with like mind. There has to be something that you do that puts you in a place, right, where you can interact and pick the brains of other people who have the same kind of vision, the same kind of, mindset, and of course the same kind of values as you. All right, the last one that successful people do is they do not joke with their health and their lifestyle. So successful people are people who understand that their bodies is what carries who they are. Everything, the skills, the talent, everything that they are is encased. Is put inside a body. And so if you don't take care of that body, the body is going to crash. Now, when the body crashes, you are unable to do anything. You are not able to achieve anything. You are not able to create impact. Okay, so successful people know this. And so successful people know how to eat right. They eat food that are healthy, they eat healthy food, they exercise, yes, they ensure that they sleep enough because they know that sleep is a powerful tool if you want your body to be, where it should be. You want your body to be healthy and agile, then you need to sleep. They know they sleep for at least 7 hours every day. They do exercise, they drink lots of water, and then they exercise every part of their life, of their bodies. They exercise their mind through reading. They exercise their mind they exercise their mind through reading. They exercise their spiritual, their soul, right? They exercise their soul by connecting with God. They exercise their bodies through exercises. Okay, so successful people are not jokers. Successful people are people who are intentional. Let me give you a bonus word. Successful people understand impact. Some successful people know that they were created not just to be rich or wealthy for themselves and their families alone. Successful people understand that they were created to create solutions for mankind, to create things that other human beings will benefit from. So, successful people are impactful people. All right. So the last thing we're going to be talking about is financial principles. All right. So you would have to understand, or your mind has to be in the right place. First of all, you have to think of yourself as someone who can be wealthy. You have to think of yourself as someone that can do anything at all you put your mind to today. You have to think of yourself like that. When you can, then you are able to destroy any negative beliefs, anything that is negative that will tell you that you can't do all of this and you cannot achieve all of this. You would have to deal with it and squash it. Okay, I'm going to send you a list of things. I'm going to send you a list of negative beliefs, and I will give you affirmations that you can use to counter those negative beliefs. All right, I'm going to send that to you as part of the forms that you're going to be getting. All right, so yes, successful people, if you want to be successful, you will learn to squash and remove all those negative beliefs so that your mind is thinking only abundance. Your mind is thinking, I can, okay, and I will. Then after that, you now have to learn what successful people do, what kind of habits they have. Okay, we've talked about those habits. We've talked about the habits of successful people, right? Now, when you finish learning about their habits, like they set goals, they manage themselves, they don't think positively, they don't say negative things out of their mouth. Okay, did I even tell you the power that our tongue has, right? If we speak negative things, okay, what we call self-fulfilling prophecies will happen. So when you open your mouth and you say, I cannot, will I ever be able to buy this thing? Will I ever be able to? Will I ever be rich? I will not even meet that from. If you keep saying that, what it means is you are declaring with your mouth. Okay, when God wanted to create the heaven and the earth, what did He do? When God wanted to, when God was ready for creation, what did He do? He opened in his mouth and He said, "Let there be." Everything that God spoke or called to being became. So it's the same thing. We are created in the image of God. We are like God, right? God created us in His image. So it means that we have the things that we have, God, the same power as God. Okay, so if you open your mouth and you keep saying negative things, those things will come to be because you are the one who spoke them and called them forth. Okay, it's called self-fulfilling prophecies. So the things you prophesy out of your mouth will happen. Some of us, when we are angry, we just start talking anyhow. You start talking to yourself, saying negative things. I just want to die. Let me just die. When you say those kind of negative things, they come to pass because it is you who called them forth. I needed to add that. All right. So when you understand the things that positive, the habits that these people have, then the next thing you want to go to is you want to go and learn principles. Okay, we say principles are the things that you have to do if you want certain things to happen. If you want certain things to happen, these are the things you have to do. Now, if you want to pass your exams, then you need to study for that exam. It is principle. It's as simple as that. If you want to, if you want to win a race, then you have to practice for that race, especially if you are going to be racing with people who are equally as good or even better than you. You have to practice. So there are principles, there are certain things. There is, if you want to plant a tree, then, or you want to plant a farm, then you will start by putting seeds in the ground. And of course, you will have to water that plant or do everything that you need to do for that plant to become a shrub or become a tree, right? That you can eat or that you can get food from. So there is seed time and there is harvest time. All right. It's a principle. If you do not plant seeds, then you will not harvest. Okay. So that's how it is. One of the things that we need to do, that if we do, then we will be successful. These are the things that we're looking at. We're looking at principles. So we're going to go quickly through these principles. Okay. The first principle is a principle of needs and wants. If you want to be successful, if you want to be rich and wealthy, then you have to understand the principle of needs and wants. That there are things that are your need, and those things that are your needs are the things that you cannot do without. For instance, you need to eat food. So for as someone who earns money, okay, as someone who, earns money, you know that there has to be a part of it that is kept for you to eat because, right, food is something that is essential. So it is a need, right? There are certain things, you have to take care of your health. It's a need. Okay, so the things that are needs, the things that we cannot do without, the things that are essential, these are the things that are our needs. Now, there are things that are wants. These are things that we may want to have, but we don't necessarily need them. So if we don't have them, nothing really out of the world is going to happen. For instance, I want to eat pizza, but hey, if I don't have pizza right now, there is rice at home. There is other things. It doesn't mean that if I don't have pizza, something will happen, right? So pizza, it's a want, I want that beautiful dress. Okay, it doesn't mean that you don't have other clothes that you are wearing, or you just like this particular one. It's a want at the time. It may not be that. Do you understand? So anything that is not essential, anything that you can do without, anything that you don't, it's not a basic need of life. It is not water, it is not food, it is not good health, it is not air. Okay, if it's not any of these things that are your basic needs in life, it is not shelter and it is not clothes to put on you, right, per time, then essential things like that, then these things are not needs, they are wants. So successful people know how to put things in these two categories, and then they know that their needs are essential, and they know that they need to multiply whatever it is that they have. So they know when to take care of their wants and when to have their wants wait for later. So successful people know how to do this so well, and this is why they are able to manage and multiply their money, because they don't take care of their wants right before they have achieved, their goals, basically. All right. The next thing is savings. Oh, successful people understand the principle of savings. Okay. And because we're all hoping, we're all moving towards becoming successful or becoming rich or wealthy people, we have to start today to practice these principles. So from home right now, you have to start attending to understanding what your wants are and what your needs are. You have to put those things so that when your parents say to you, you can't have the things that you want, you are able to understand and not throw tantrums. When you get your allowance or you get your pay from the things that you do, whether you run a small business or whether you do chores or you go for, or you do jobs that pay you, okay, you would have to recognize your needs from your wants, isn't it? Right. Then you can start practicing this so that you can take care of things based on this, whether they are wants or they are needs. So the same thing with savings. We have to start practicing today. Successful people plan. That's why we said they plan. So you have to start planning today, that wealthy person that you want to be at 20. You have to start planning today the wealthy person that you want to be at 25. Do you know that Mark Zuckerberg became a millionaire before he turned 30? In his 20s, he was already a wealthy person. So who says we are too young? Especially for you, if you are 12, 13, and 14, it means that you have 6 years or so. If you are 14, you have only 6 years before your 20s. So do you know you can actually become wealthy in the next 6 to 10 years? Now, is it at the time when you become 18 or 20 that you will now start practicing this habit? No, we start now. Okay. So savings, we have to start practicing savings habits today. Okay. There's something we call simulation. What it means is you are practicing what you are going to be doing in the future. You have a way of practicing it today. I will explain to you. Now, have you seen pilots? Do you know that during training, when pilots are being trained as pilots, they are taken into some sort of a vessel or a tube or something like that, where they go in. Now, when they go into that thing, that thing is one. I mean, it is actually, I don't know, it's technical, but they will move them in that tube, right, to try and make them see and understand what turbulence or what a plane that is about to crash, what the plane goes through. What they're doing is they're trying to help the pilots have an experience of what it feels like to be in that situation. So that if the pilot finds himself in that situation in the future, the pilot can stay calm and does not panic, because he has been in that kind of situation before and he knows what to do. So the pilot is able to apply it in real life because he had gone through a simulation, because he had practiced it before, because they had created something for him to practice that looks like that situation. So the pilot does this simulation at different points, many times in his training, so that it becomes a part of his memory. It's there in his subconscious mind. Okay, in the subconscious mind, a part of our brain that stores up all the activities and all the things that happen in our lives. What the subconscious mind does is, whenever you have a similar experience or you have something that looks like what you have gone through before, the subconscious mind will bring it to you and teach and make you use that experience that you had before to take care of the experience that you're having right now. So that's why we have to simulate savings, how savings can be in real life, so that when you become rich, while you are working towards become wealthy, on your way, on your path towards being wealthy, these are the principles that you will apply that will actually or indeed make you a wealthy person. All right, so how we simulate savings is we try to create a real life situation in our savings as children. So I remember the other day when we were talking about our piggy banks, someone said that she had, all her money that she gets, she puts in a piggy bank. And at the end of the year, she's going to break that piggy bank. Now, this is fantastic. But do you know that that's not how money works? Remember, in this course, we want to learn how money works. Okay? In reality, think about it. Will your dad get his paycheck, his salary, and all of that at the end of the month, and take all of it and put it in the bank and seal it there and then come home to come and be looking at you? If that happens, then you probably will not be able to go to school or anything, because there'll be no money for that. Does your mom get paid at the end of the month and then she opens her piggy bank and puts everything there and seals it? Then she's unable to do a lot of things. So in real life or in real situations, we don't carry everything that we earn and put and close it to the end of the year. We actually interact with money. This is how we build positive money habits, when we interact with money. So we are supposed to interact with money so that we understand our behavior around money, and the people that are older than us can also understand our behavior around money. So what you're supposed to do is have 3 or 4 piggy banks, 3 or 4 different piggy, what you use as your piggy bank. Okay, so the first one you will have is savings. Okay, and this is what parents who are doing the right thing also do. When they get their paychecks, they do not just take it and dump it. What they do is they save some parts. Now, this is what you will do first. You will always save first before you do anything else. So savings comes first before anything else. So when you get your allowance, you get your money from your business, whatever or however you get money, the first thing you want to do is you want to save part of it, put in your savings piggy bank, or you put that in your, okay, we'll be talking about, let's start with piggy bank. All right. The next thing you have is, and sometimes it depends on you, how many percentage of your money do you want to put there? All right. My son comes, he puts 50% of his money inside that savings. He said that in the first meeting. All right. Then after that, you have your spending piggy bank. Don't ever work and you're not able to spend some of your money. Why are you working if you're not able to enjoy part of the money that you earn? All right. So you should have money for spending, money that you can spend. All right. So have your spending envelope or anything that you use for spending. A percentage should go in there. All right, you're already taking 50%. Now you have only about 50%. You can decide for spending, I'm going to use 20% and put in my spending piggy bank. So 20% of the money that I have goes into my spending. Okay, then the next piggy bank is your gifting. Now, gifting means you are making room for, you know, those times that your brother will be like, oh, please, can you borrow me money? I don't have money. Or please, can you give me some money? Oh, I want to get this. I can't get it. It happens to your parents too. There are times that grandma will call them and grandma needs money. There are times that their siblings will call them. There are times that the gate man, someone around them. So you see, when you see your parents give out money to people, when you see them give tips to people at the restaurant, you know, and things like that, it's probably because they have kept out some money for gifting. So what it means is every time it's someone's birthday or it's someone's needs and all of that, they can take from that account or from that part of their money that has been kept aside for gifting, and they're able to use it to gift. Okay, the next one, also remember that how you do this, your principles, is also dependent on your family values, what you value as a family. So for some families, right, they also have what is called charity. Now, in your charity piggy bank is where you put your offerings, your tithe, you know, and whatever it is that you want to use to be a blessing to people who probably do not have enough at different points. So in there goes also a percentage. You have to decide that. So what it now means is throughout the course of the month, for instance, okay, when you need to gift someone, you get it from your gifting piggy bank. When you need to spend money or buy pizza, buy things here and all of that, you take that from your spending. When you have a new lovely thing that you want, maybe you want to buy a hoodie, okay, what you look is you look at your spending. If you don't have enough from your spending, what you do, you take some part of your spending, a percentage from there, and put it somewhere. That is a short-term project that you have. Okay, so you may not be able to buy it today, this month. You may need to save for it for like 2 or 3 months in order for you to buy it. So that becomes a project that you are working towards. So every month you take a percentage from your spending and put in the envelope for that project. So when you have that money enough, you cannot take it and go and buy yourself a hoodie. Okay, but you don't ever buy yourself anything that you do not have at least 3 times the money in your savings. Okay, we're going to be talking about that, you know, later. So very key. So these are financial principles that you need to start learning today and need to start applying. All right, very key. All right, so the next one we're going to go to is earning money. All right, so we're going to talk about earning money, very well, in the other part of this. Okay, but let's touch on it a little. So, how do you get money? Okay, it's very important to understand that money is earned when we put in some work. Okay, always tell yourself. I know there's sometimes that your parents give to you, your cousins, your uncles, and all of that give to you, but you are not entitled. What is entitlement? Entitlement is when you think someone must do something for you, someone must give you. So when you do that, now you are now becoming an entitled person. Okay, in fact, someone can look at you and say, are you a thief? What is it? Is it your money? So people choose to give to you when they choose to give to you. It's because we don't know, understand these principles. That's why you are upset that someone has not given you their money. Is it your money? Did you work for it? All right. That's when you think, oh, I finished. They should buy me a car. They should buy me this. Did you work for it? All right. So when you understand this principle, you don't do the way other people do because you understand principles. All right. So what you earn has to be a bit of it has to be something that you have made an effort to. It is hard work, a bit of hard work that leads to earning. So when you do something, it leads to you earning. All right. So you must give out some value for you to earn. And what you earn is a reward for the value that you give. Okay. So, yes, there will be times that you are gifted. Now, those gifts that you get from your parents, from your uncles, they are they are goodwill. They just gave it to you. It's not yours. So you can't keep hoping for it every time. You can't keep hoping for it every time. All right. They are goodwill. Even the allowances that your parents give you, a point will come that they can decide not to give you. What if your parents do not even have to give you at a particular time? What if they have other projects and all of that? So you cannot hold on to anybody. It is not an entitlement. It is goodwill from them. All right. The one that you now do is you put yourself in a place where you can put in some hard work to be paid some money. You can put in some hard work to get some earnings. And this is how earning comes about when we're able to give value, give something that is valuable, right? And in return, we are giving something, right, for the value that we give. This is how we earn. All right. So put that at the back of your mind so that you don't go about wanting and getting angry over people's money that doesn't belong to you. All right. Now, giving an impact. Now, these are financial principles. Even scripture says that when you give, it'll come back to you. So there's that scripture that says, give and it'll come back to you. When you want to give, it says, don't give poorly, give in full measures, press it down, right? When you give it, press it down, shake it, and then put on top of it. So, meaning what it's saying is when you want to give to people generously from your heart. All right. So, it's a principle. When we give, we receive. Okay, when we give, we receive. Don't ask me how it works. That is God's principle. Okay, and it's worked over and over again. All right, so it's a principle. So when we give, when we look around us and we see people in need, all right, so that's what we always say, look for solutions. So when you look around you and you see people in need, it is your job to see whatever it is that you can do to help them, right? To help them with solutions, right? And part of it is you giving, right? As charity and all of that. Another part of it is you creating impact. So whatever goal, skill that you have, whatever it is that you are doing, we're going to come to that in our next session, right? After after the financial, so we're going to have a session later, today, module 3, where we will have a financial expert that will be teaching us about money and investment and all of those things. All right. Now, after that, we'll have the last session. So in that last session, we're going to talk about this impact and the rest of it. Now, when God gives you a purpose, or when God gives you a gift that you can use to, make a difference, what he wants is that you create solutions that can help other people, that you create impact. So successful people understand that they are not wealthy so that they can sit down in their home and they and their family would live and eat. No. Successful people know that they are successful, they are wealthy so that they can create impact around them. So that's why you see that wealthy people go and build schools, wealthy people take care of people, wealthy people create solutions that can continue to bless people in their community. Wealthy people are always doing things that can create impact. Wealthy people are usually philanthropists. Wealthy people, I mean, Bill Gates and Melinda Gates have taken care of people living with HIV for over decades, especially in Africa and other parts of the world. This is part of what they use their money for, right? So this is it. So wealth, for you to be wealthy, then you must understand the place of impact and you must understand the place of giving. Very, very key. All right. Now, yes. So this is where we are. So what wealth, so that's where we stopped. We're going to talk about what wealth is versus what wealth is not. Okay. And then we are going to leave that. How long have we been in this session? Let me see. So this is part of what I'm going to be teaching alongside the last part of this. We're going to be looking at what wealth is versus what wealth is not. And we're going to be looking at the connection between our talents, impact, and wealth. So at this point, I think we have to close here for today so that you can go and take this in. So I'm going to be asking you a few questions in the worksheet that you're going to get. Okay, I'm going to be asking you, what limiting beliefs do you have? I'm going to be asking you, what is it that you have seen in you that you could say that this is your superpower? This is what you know how to do that you can use to earn. I'm going to be asking you a couple of other questions. All right, so when you listen to this, I need you to come to the group and share with me what you have learned and what you are going to take away from this session until we meet in the next session. Thank you, and take care of yourself. Bye. All right, then. So I will see you in the next module.